Greetings everyone, Slovene Dance Sunday, back out again with another reaction. Looking at the second half of the Heisei era of the complete history of Kamen Rider. So let's get into it and see what the last of these Heisei era guys are. That's a vision to show people.
2010 brought us Eiji, also known as Kamen Rider Oz, a nomad with a tragic past who dresses like a hobo and has a not-so-secret obsession with underwear. Eiji encounters Ankh, the arm of a greed, which is a creature made of metals that feed on the desires of humans, played by Ryosuke Miura, who also played on a show called Caesar X, and the charisma and the interactions between Eiji and Ankh would be a standout of the season. Our two leads encounter Kogami-san, who assists them by providing various resources and equipment, but clearly he has ulterior motives, and this guy also loves to say, "Happy birthday." Kamen Rider Oz also features Kamen Rider Birth, an incredibly unique rider with multiple users, who's themed around capsule toys.
I was wondering about that.
One thing that's really unique about Oz is that he's able to mix and match metals to combine different forms, but he becomes really cool and powerful when he combines three of the same type, like Tajador. This show is critically and commercially successful, and Oz would continue the streak of excellent Kamen Rider seasons at the time.
Well, there we go. Oh, anniversary. Nice.
2011 would see the release of a huge team-up movie in Oz, Dino, All Riders, Let's Go Kamen Riders. This movie of course featured Oz and Dino, but it also featured the double riders of the original Kamen Rider series, plus all of the other riders throughout history. Serving as a celebration commemorating the 40th anniversary of the franchise and the 60th anniversary of Toei Company, this movie continued the tradition of fan service and crossovers within the franchise. The fandom was also treated to some nostalgic appearances from other non-Rider Toku characters like Kikaider, Inazuman, and Zubat, and a cool new form from Oz using the Imogen and Shocker medals. Appropriately, the catchphrase for the movie is "Oh the world, these are Japan's heroes," due to the large amount of legendary heroes featured here, and this movie served as a great showcase of the Kamen Rider franchise to new fans.
I can see it.
Later on in 2011, we were introduced to one of the most unique and fresh Kamen Rider seasons of all time in Kamen Rider Foze, a 40th anniversary project themed around space and centered around the Kamen Rider Club of Amanogawa High School. Our main protagonist is Gintaro, an eccentric and charismatic new student who recently transferred and is determined to be everyone's friend. Yuki is Gintaro's childhood friend, and she is just as quirky and fun on screen as Gintaro, making for an excellent cast that portray their characters with enthusiasm. This season took a lot of risks in regard to theming and style, but it resulted in a very memorable season that was consistently entertaining and really fun in general.
No kidding, I'll never forget the spaceship-themed Kamen Rider now.
Also released in 2011 was the game All Kamen Rider Rider Generation for the Nintendo DS system. This was a fun arcade-style beat-em-up game that also received a sequel later. In 2012, the franchise would go in yet another new direction with Wizard, a magic and fantasy-themed Rider season with quite a bit of comedy and charm added on top of the Kamen Rider formula. The main protagonist for this season is named Haruto, and he uses rings of different elements to henshin into Kamen Rider Wizard. This series also featured an incredibly likable secondary hero with a cool suit in the mayonnaise-obsessed Kosuke, also known as Kamen Rider Beast. This season also features a lot of quirky,
God, I remember that, him with the mayonnaise thing.
Quirky comedy, mostly delivered by Shunpei. Although this series didn't quite reach the same height as the previous few seasons, Wizard's uniqueness created new possibilities for what could be featured in Kamen Rider. 2012 also marked the 10th anniversary of TV Asahi's Superhero Time TV block, and to celebrate, Toei released Kamen Rider and Super Sentai Superhero Taisen, a crossover film featuring the company's two most famous franchises. This movie focuses primarily on Decade, Foze, Oz, Go-Busters, and Go-Kaiger, but the vast majority of riders and rangers throughout history are featured here. In this film, Captain Marvelous leads the Dai Zangyak fleet against all Kamen Riders, while Kamen Rider Decade leads Dai Shocker against all Sentais. This movie brought the stakes and intrigue of a heavyweight fight to the big screen and a love letter to both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
I gotta remember that one. Superhero Go Sentai. Or Go Tyson? What's it called? Superhero Tyson. That was it. Gaim.
2013 would continue the trend of wild and fresh ideas being implemented into the Kamen Rider formula with a much-loved and very unique season, Kamen Rider Gaim. This show features dancing fruit samurai, which might sound childish on surface level, but this show actually has a surprisingly dark tone at times, with a lot of depth and weight to the story.
No kidding.
In the universe of Gaim, reality has become almost unbearably hard and depressing for most people, so dance troops are formed to liven up the community, and one of these troops is called Gaim. Kota is our main protagonist who becomes Kamen Rider Gaim, and he displays a charisma and relatability that makes it very easy to root for him. This show was another treat for fans of Rider vs. Rider battles and infighting, and Gaim is generally remembered very fondly by most of the community, and it would be impossible to tell the story of Kamen Rider without Gaim. 2013 would also deliver another fun-filled and action-packed team-up movie in Kamen Rider and Super Sentai and Space Sheriff Superhero Tyson Zeto. This was a sequel to the Superhero Tyson movie with the new addition of the Metal Heroes franchise. This movie features heroes from the three major Toei franchises on screen together to fight against the emerging Space Shocker, in a thrilling and nostalgic celebration of Kamen Rider and all of Toei.
Okay, now I got 2 movies to check out for the crossover fun.
In 2013, Toei and Bandai Namco released a game titled Kamen Rider Batride War for the PlayStation 3. This game is considered a hack-and-slash style game and features every Heisei rider up until Wizard. This game lets you take on large groups of enemies at a time during battle scenarios designed to make you feel like a powerful Kamen Rider. The success of this game would lead to several sequels over the years. 2014 would see the release of Kamen Rider Drive, a car and police-focused season. Shinsuke is an officer that was demoted into the Special Investigation Division, where he investigates slowdown and fight against the Roid Mutes. He henshins into Kamen Rider Drive using Belto-san and drives around in a stylish red car. Takahito Omori, one of the producers of the show, called it a tribute to Knight Rider, a car-focused show from the 1980s.
True enough.
The theme song for this season is sung by Mitsuki Matsuoka, who also played Kamen Rider Eternal in Double. Drive was a well-written and much-liked season that added to the Kamen Rider legacy in a positive way and kept the fandom entertained in 2014.
The more you know. Ghost.
2015 was a bit of a slow year for Kamen Rider, with the only project of note being Kamen Rider Ghost. This series used themes revolving around the afterlife as our main protagonist Takeru searches for the icons that will prevent his permanent death.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Anyway.
The suit designs of the season feature bold colors, elaborate helmet ornamentation, and hoodies, a look that I appreciate even today.
Oh, X-Aid.
2016 saw the introduction of one of the most bold, colorful, and fun Rider series of all time in Kamen Rider X-Aid. Celebrating the 45th anniversary of Kamen Rider, this is a show that takes place mostly in a hospital and focuses on a group of gaming doctors that battle against the Bugsters. This cast is loaded with charm and personality, especially our main protagonist, Emu.
I'm a Kamen Rider.
The suits have a really unique anime look, and almost everything has a look that you could perhaps best describe as being part anime and part retro gaming. It might sound like a strange combination, but it works really well, and the aesthetic of X-Aid makes the show an incredibly memorable entry into the franchise.
True enough.
In 2016, the Kamen Rider fandom was also treated to a new Rider series for adults, called Amazons, based on the classic Kamen Rider Amazon, and streaming on Amazon Prime Video. This show featured a distinctively more violent style compared with the mainline series, something that this show shares with the original. In fact, there's a lot of things from the show that I just can't show you on YouTube, because if I did, Kane Janai. This show featured only 12 episodes, but would get renewed for a second season. This series brought new attention to the classic Kamen Rider Amazon series, as well as attention to the Kamen Rider franchise as a whole, due to how prevalent Amazon Prime Video is throughout the world.
Build.
2017 saw the debut of a cool new science and math theme rider in Kamen Rider Build. After an item called the Pandora's Box was discovered on Mars, there was an event called the Skywall Disaster that split Japan into 3 warring territories, Toto, Hokuto, and Seto, and this also created monsters called Smash. In order to deal with the fallout of this event and to defeat Smash, the Toto government enlists help from our main protagonist, Sento. Sento is unquestionably a genius who henshins into Kamen Rider Build. This series also features Ryuga, also known as Crossy, as a captivating secondary rider with a well-written story.
Oh my.
As well as Ivorto, an alien that wants to assimilate all of humanity. Due to Build's unique world building, interesting characters, and great story, this show has remained as one of the most loved and well-remembered series in Kamen Rider history.
Explains how popular it is.
2018 brought us the final season of the Heisei era and the first anniversary season since Decade 10 years prior in Kamen Rider Gyo. This year's show is themed around time and time travel. Our main protagonist Sogo is destined to become Oma King Gyo, a ruthless tyrant of the future. To prevent this, Gaze goes back in time to kill Gyo, but a woman named Tsukuyomi has also gone back to protect Sogo. As this is an anniversary season, we're treated to a lot of throwback riders and various crossovers that longtime fans will appreciate, including grotesque versions of the riders that oppose our heroes. Gyo was a love letter of a season written to the Kamen Rider franchise as a whole. Before the Heisei era officially came to a close, Toei released Heisei Generations Forever, a huge celebration of the entire Heisei era meant to appeal to fans both young and old. This movie is stuffed with fan service related to every one of the Heisei riders, and they each get a healthy amount of time to shine.
I believe it.
The entirety of the Heisei era leads up to this point in a triumphant and thrilling climax, and this project marks the final rider project before the next era.
Hey, it sounds like a fun project either way. And there's the Reiwa era. Anywho, that was a fun amount of information. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly did. I talked a little bit more on this one, but yeah. It certainly had some interesting stuff, but there's definitely those 2 movies I want to see, the superhero Tyson movies. Ooh, that sounds fun, especially with the fact that there's a giant war in most of them. I just love seeing all the suits going at it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know if there's any movies or shows, or if you want to see me do some Kamen Rider games, maybe. Just let me know down in the comments. But let's keep on trying to reach more people, beat that algorithm, share more of this Toku goodness to the world, and we'll see what else we enjoy. You guys take care. I'll see you all in the final video, the Reiwa era. Bye!